They said he couldn't do it. He did it though. I've been chasing demons, watch me hunt them down. I've been sipping holy water from that water fountain. They try to bury me alive, they try to pull me down. But then I dug my way up out that fucking underground. Oh, I still got dirt on my shoulder. I still got work, it ain't over. I can feel it coming closer. I ain't the ordinary soldier. I'm a beast, hope the least you can't contain me. I got pride and honor flowing through the same vein. I ain't no sheep, I move my feet and beat my own drum. I'm a mother flying if I fall from. Mama kicked me out the house, yeah, I was so young.
Welcome back. The network changed, but the name stays the same. This is another episode of Recognized Game. I am your boy EB, the owner and head of creative of In My Bag Apparel, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while. I'm here with, as always, my younger brother and the head barber and owner of Bullies Cuts and Styles, CB the Bully. What's happening, homie?
What it do, big bro?
What's happening, man? We're here on the Tired Sports Network now. You know, we have traveled our way around this internet universe over the last year and some change.
It's good. It's good to know that we still wanted by a team like Dwight Howard.
And they sound, as excited as we are about this new endeavor, man. You see the new intro, you see the new layout. We still on the court because that's where we be. That's where you find us. But we got some new graphics, some good team behind us, and hopefully we'll also enhance the show in the process, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Should we get right into it?
As we should.
All right, man. Let's start off with the Eastern Conference Finals. We've been away for a little while, so I figure we'll recap a little bit of the whole series. We know the Knicks choked away Game 1. We all saw the Halliburton memes by now, the Reggie Miller choke throwback, and all of that. He almost caught a huge L and would have been my L of the week this week.
Right.
Had they lost that game in overtime, I guess he kind of pleaded with the team, we can't lose this after I hit that celly.
Right.
And for the most part, the Knicks made it interesting in Game 2, but the Pacers led basically throughout that one. Took a 2-0 lead in New York, winning both games on the road, and that led us into tonight's game for Game 3. Pacers took their turn to choke a game away. They had a 20-point lead in this one. They had Brunson and Cat in foul trouble. The fact that Karl Anthony Towns then matched the entire Pacers team's output as far as points wise in the fourth quarter with 20 is a good way to choke a lead away.
Big purr.
But yeah, the Knicks pulled this one out 106-100. What'd you think about this one?
They didn't have an answer for Cat, man. He wanted to get it going. I'm sure he sees all the shit talking online and everything, and it might light a spark, huge threes. He tried to hit one deep from the logo. That one didn't fall, but he hit one after that. Almost got fouled in the process. Strong dunk through the lane. After a while, Turner couldn't find a way to stop him at all. It was interesting seeing Hart coming off the bench this round or this game. Thibodeau doesn't usually do that. We know he likes to ride with his starting five. I definitely thought it was Indiana's game in the first half.
For sure.
But,
we were even
New York brought it down to 13 at the end of the first half, and that ultimately led to the comeback.
Absolutely. That momentum shift right at the end of the half is definitely what shifted things for him. And we were even there's a group chat for the Tired Sports Network, and we were talking, and somebody said, "Oh, Patriots got this one locked down. They're up 20." And I said after the game, and I've said it for a while now, 20-point leads don't mean anything.
20 points leads could go away so fast. It's crazy, man.
Exactly, man. Let's pop over to the Western Conference, where outside of Ant and Julius Randle for the first half of Game 1 at least, no Timberwolves basically showed up for the first two games of the Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 3 was a completely different story, though. AE hit 5 threes, scoring an efficient 30 points. I think he was 5 for 8 from 3. Julius added 24 in that one. The ninth guy off of the Minnesota bench scored more points than every starter in Oklahoma City. I think Shea and Mitchell had 14 apiece, and they brought in Terrence Shannon off the bench from Minnesota. He had 15. Was that?
When it comes to Minnesota, man, I know that AE led the league in 3-pointers this year, but I think that's gotten to his head a little bit. I'd like to see him drive a little more, especially being as young as he is. It's like you almost remember MJ when he was young and how bouncy he was and how unafraid he was to get through the lane. He wasn't as dominant as he was later on in his career, but I feel like with what we saw from Anthony Edwards last year, that we would see something even more promising this year, and it's starting not to be the case. But with this huge game, maybe he tapped back into what, it is to be a Wolf of his caliber, and maybe hopefully he can stretch this series a little longer.
And there was a question posed in another one of our group chats about last night's game, and they asked if we thought that game was rigged. What do you think about that?
Last game?
The game 3 last night.
No, I believe if a team is up 2-0, they might not be as hungry as the other team. And it can show. I've seen it happen time and time again, and this might be the same thing happening. It'd be a shame if it was rigged, but if it was rigged, you'd probably have some better teams in the East and Western Conference Finals that are, more popular amongst the fans.
Fair. I just want to say welcome in to everybody popping in to check us out on our first live. We are live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and StreamYard right now. Recognized game on the Tire Sports Network. Shout out all the guys on the team, man.
Recognize it.
And I agree. I don't think it was rigged. I think the Thunder got their ass beat. And, there's been this thing over the last few years, and with this surgence of the 3-point shot where I think like teams just give up easier. You notice when, teams up 30 down, or 40, something like that. In the first half, even in those 20, 25 point games, we saw it first with Draymond and Steve Kerr earlier in the playoffs, where they talked about they were getting their ass beat, I think, by Minnesota. And they said, we'll see how the first 5 minutes is going in the second half and then sit and just prepare for game 4. I think that mentality is what a lot of people have. Like, sure, this game's over. Let's just rest up, throw in the towel on this one, and move on to the next game.
OKC definitely thought that way. It felt like SGA was benched probably in the middle of the third quarter, and he was mic'd up on the bench, and we heard a little bit of the chatter about, we could even come out the next game tough and they could still beat us and things like that. It seems like they were already thinking ahead.
Yeah, that type of thinking seems to happen a lot earlier in games and kind of in series now. And then you see stats like, I was scrolling through Instagram after the game and it said no team has ever won a championship after losing a playoff game by 40. I'm sure that's one thing. You read that, you hear that, and you think, oh, okay, well then the Thunder are done. But at the same time, if you look at the last 2 or 3 years, there's no way that before now or recently there were this many blowouts like this. How many times are teams getting beat by? They're not the only team to lose by 40 in these playoffs. They beat a team by 50.
Right.
So like that stat, sure, it's something, but a 40-point loss is a lot more common now than it was, say, in the 90s or even early 2000s. So, you take that stat with a grain of salt.
It's interesting because we were just talking about how teams can come back from 20-point deficits. Is it once they touch that 30 mark, they're like, all right.
Yeah, let's give it a couple more minutes, see if we can knock down some shots. If not, just throw in the subs. It's crazy. That's how Bronny got a lot of his minutes this year. You know what I mean? Sure. With all that said, man, who do you think out of those all 4 teams left in the NBA playoffs, what team needs game 4 the most?
I have to say the teams that are down right now the most. Man, the Knicks and the Wolves are in the same predicament.
Well, it's slightly different because if you look at it, the Knicks are on the road for game 4 and Minnesota's at home.
So, yeah, the Knicks are going to need this away. They're going to need another steal. because no teams ever came back from a 2-0 deficit on the road. After losing 2 games at home.
Right.
I think it's like 0-13. Ernie was talking about tonight, and I mean, if the Knicks really want to, make it possible, they're going to need this other one on the road too. Then get another one at home too. They need both these wins.
I somewhat agree with you. I would say, I don't know if it's both teams that are down that losing more, because if you look at the winner's side, at least maybe let's look at the Pacers. If the Knicks win game 4 and even things up at 2, does that shake Indiana? Does Indiana need that cushion to believe that they can get on and push to the finals, or does that ultimately have them crumble and Knicks just walk over them, get it in 5-6 games, or at least 6 at this point?
Somebody's got to keep that fire lit for Cat, man. If somebody if he has somebody like AE tell him straight up, you're the best player on the court.
He had that last season, and then they lost to the Mavericks.
I just believe if he understands and believes full-heartedly, they could come back and win this whole thing.
I'm going to say the Pacers need it more than any of the other 3 teams. The Thunder kind of went through their heartbreak, and they've had a little bit of playoff experience now. Same with the Wolves making the Western Conference Finals last year. I know the Pacers made it this far this year, but the Knicks have that kind of irrational confidence to a point, and you can have that when you have Jalen Brunson and the things he's done in fourth quarters of games this year. But I think they would be able to puff their chest out a little bit more with a 3-1 lead, and I think it would take a little bit more away from them if the Knicks tie it up and they lose both games at home, heading back to New York.
It's going to be wild, man. The 2 teams that are down are the 2 teams that I want to see in the finals.
I don't really care who comes out of the East, but I want the Thunder in the West.
You want the Thunder? I want the Wolves.
That's what's up. You already know I'm not taking the Wolves. All right, let's talk about these All-NBA teams. The All-NBA first, second, and third teams were announced this week. The first team has MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Donovan Mitchell from Cleveland, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic. Second team has Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, and Defensive Player of the Year Evan Mobley. The third team consists of Cade Cunningham, who had a great year out of Detroit, Tyrese Halliburton, James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Williams. I saw a couple of names pop up as far as snubs were concerned, whether it was Trae Young, Jaren Jackson Jr., or Alperen Şengün. What do you think of these All-NBA teams? Do you see any snubs? What are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I feel like Derek White is one of the best blockers in the league. I don't know what his stats were looking like this year, but it's interesting not to hear another Celtic on this list anywhere, like Jaylen Brown, after being Finals MVP last year.
Fair.
Maybe his stats just didn't match up this year, though.
Yeah, I don't really think there's any snubs either. I mean, Trae did lead the league in assists, but the Hawks were trash, especially when Jalen Johnson went down.
Yeah.
The Rockets were a 2 seed in the West, so I mean, maybe some consideration for Şengün, or not really Jalen Green. Main thing I was looking at was you could make an argument for a few of those guys on third team to be on that second team over Bron and Steph.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are they? That's some favoritism, maybe.
I would say Cade Cunningham had a better year than Steph Curry did. Karl Anthony Towns, and it's hard for me to say. And maybe even Jalen Williams, I think, had better years than Bron did.
Yeah.
But, they give it to him in his 22nd season at 40 years old, doing the things he's doing. It's kind of a lifetime achievement kind of thing. But not really snubs. I don't think I'd take anybody off of any of these teams to put somebody who didn't make it onto them. I'd just move them around a little bit, probably.
It does look like the league is in good hands, though.
It does.
Even with the finals, man, these are going to be names we hear about. It might not be Anthony Edwards' turn, but, a lot of cats didn't get their first ring till 27.
And beyond for some cases. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about is I saw Boogie Cousins on Run It Back on FanDuel TV this week, and he was talking about the Golden State Warriors, who he briefly played with during their dynasty run. But he actually brought up something that I mentioned that we talked about. I don't remember if it was before this season or towards the end of last season, but it was about the Warriors developing talent.
He spoke about that recently.
Was that recent? Was that this year?
It was recent. I think we were speaking of Kuminga.
Yeah. I mean, and Boogie pointed all the way to, first of all, you look at it at Steph and Clay and Draymond, Mark Jackson developed them. He got his hands on them first. The only guy that really came in young that was developed during the Steve Kerr regime was what they got out of Jordan Poole. And that was what Boogie was saying. They ended up running him out of town. And the problem with the Warriors and maybe the Steve Kerr system is that they're running the same thing they were running when they had the pieces to do so. But Andre Iguodala isn't walking through that door. Sean Livingston isn't going to suit up. And Klay Thompson's in Dallas.
And plus, most of the league plays their style of ball now too.
Right. And then it's not the same personnel. They don't have the same skill set. So look at how they've given Kuminga how many DMPs throughout the year, and then he'll still come off the bench, get you 30 in some cases. But I don't think if it's possible to get Kuminga out of Golden State, he'll be out of Golden State sooner rather than later. Like there's no way to repair this or make this better as far as Jonathan Kuminga. They did the same thing with Jonathan Wiseman. They may have been a little different of a situation, but he was a number 2 overall pick, and they couldn't find anything to do with him either.
They haven't been able to develop a player. That's what it kind of boils down to. Unless, they're trying to do that with the other PG. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen too much growth out of him over the last couple of years.
If anything, he was better his rookie year. You talking about Podziemski?
Yes, Podziemski was balling his rookie year. But yeah, you're right. They just don't develop players.
It just doesn't happen. And then they keep running the same system, trying to plug in new players to do the same thing.
So you saying it might be time to get Kerr the fuck up out of there?
It might be time for a new voice. And I said that at the beginning of the year. Blow it up.
Bring back Mark?
No, not even that. That's as likely as bringing back Jordan Poole.
Steve Nash?
I don't know who. There's Mike Malone's available.
Mike Malone? Come on, champions.
There's options, man.
I'm mad at that.
While we're speculating, I saw a couple of guys threw some things in the trade engine to see if they would stick, and I wanted to run a couple of ideas past you. Bill Simmons, shout out to the Podfather, he threw a trade out in the universe, which would have the Lakers giving up their 2 first-round picks. We've made all of these. We've bent over backwards to keep over the last couple of seasons. They'd also get rid of a couple expiring contracts, and this would be for Joel Embiid in return. They would also be able to keep Austin Reeves in this situation. So what are your thoughts on that possibility of a Joel Embiid in LA move?
I like it. I like him as a player. I want a player that we can have that's going to be on the court for more than 25 games.
That part.
That's what I would love. He's an epic big. He'll be a Hall of Famer, but can we get 65 games out of him a year?
Can you get 40
doesn't
games?
look like it doesn't look like the case. I feel like I could get more minutes out of McGee and Dwight Howard.
I mean, you add in LeBron's age. Lucas had injury issues in the past, and we don't have to really talk about how injured Joel Embiid has been. That just doesn't seem like a move for the future.
It's almost worse than Anthony Edwards or Anthony Davis.
I'd say it is worse than Anthony Davis.
Say it again.
I'd say it is worse than Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has at least been able to be there for a deep playoff run.
Yeah, and he played a lot of last season.
Another doable trade that I saw, which centers around these currently in the Eastern Conference Finals New York Knicks. This one came from I saw this on FanDuel's IG. This would send Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, and then their 2030 first-round pick to Milwaukee in exchange for Giannis and Kyle Kuzma. So I have two questions for you. One, which side says
Hold
no?
on, what's the trade again?
It's Cat, Bridges, Robinson, McBride, and the 2030 first round pick for Giannis and Kuzma. So my two questions for you are: which one of those teams says no to that deal, and are you taking that deal from either side as a GM? Which one would you take it from, if either?
From Milwaukee GM, and the Knicks get to the finals, and I know Greek Freak wants to get out of there, I'm gonna have to do it.
So if you're Milwaukee, you're giving that, you're taking that deal?
Yeah. And if I'm the Knicks, I'm doing that for sure.
Oh, so both sides, either way, you're taking that deal.
Yeah, I think it's a great trade. Cat, he's showing what he got. He fouls out a lot in the playoffs. But if you know Greek Freak wants out, that's probably your best alternative.
Yeah, but we're seeing this Cat with a Jalen Brunson. You could talk about Damian Lillard, but he's not going to be on the court next year. If he is on the court, it's not going to be till like fucking March. So there's no reason for him to suit up with his Achilles.
I'm not saying they're going to make a deep playoff run, but it's not pennies on the dollar if you're getting Cat.
I mean, it's more pennies.
You have to rise up off a Greek Freak. If you got to. If he's out of there, there's nothing you could do. Yeah, we getting Cat.
Yeah, I say you at least entertain the move. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of teams out there with some packages to offer. So we'll see.
That might be Antetokounmpo's number one place that he wants to go.
Oh, he wants to be big market. We're looking California, New York, possibly maybe.
I'm just hoping it's not the Clippers.
That's nasty if it is. I didn't even think about that. I didn't want to.
Right.
That's nasty work. If
they can hold on to Kawhi, James, and Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
And Zubac.
Maybe Norman Powell. Like, you just hold on those guys. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's your starters right there, too.
Right.
That's
nasty. I have to get rid of the Serbian cat.
Bogdan
and Ben might be out of there.
And Derrick Jones Jr.
Bogdan, Ben, and Jones Jr. is out of there.
Ben, I don't even know why you brought him up there. Knock that shit off.
Come on, man. Cornrow Ben, bro.
Stop it.
Ben with the cornrows.
Stop it. All right, it's time for a guessing game. I'm done with that shit.
All right.
So I have a list here of it's 10 players. And I want you to name the players that have scored the most points in the NBA over the last 10 years. And we'll go until you either get them all or you get 3 wrong. And then I'll give you the list from there. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Who scored the most points in the last 10 years?
Mm-hmm. And feel free to give me where you think they rank.
Steph Curry.
Where you got him?
I got him 4th.
I should have numbered these. Steph is 6th. At 16,672 points, which he accomplished in 610 games over the last 10 years.
Go with another easy one, the Joker.
Joker is at number 8, 16,210.
Last 10 years, let's go Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant over the last 10 years, crazy enough, is not on this list.
Last 10 years, that's 2015. Damian Lillard.
A lot of injuries in that time. Dame is number 4, 17,621. You got one wrong, by the way, now.
Let's go Embiid.
Joel Embiid, also not on the list because he doesn't play any games.
Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic over the last 10 years hasn't been in the league that long, and he is also not on the list. There's your 3 wrong. It's over. Good job. So you had number 1 was Giannis at 18,983. James Harden was number 2, 18,801. DeMar DeRozan, number 3, 17,686. You had Dame at 4, Bron at 5, 17,271. Steph at 6, D-Book at 7, 16,452. You got the Joker at 8, Russell Westbrook at 9,
I was gonna say Russ.
15,485. And then number 10, you want to give one more guess?
Number 10, one more guess. We're gonna go with 2015.
Feel free to guess along, y'all, in the comments.
Yeah. We say KD?
That's one of the ones you guessed that was not on the list.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
Number 10 was Anthony Davis.
Fuck yeah.
15,061. What's interesting, and I read some of the amount of games for some of those players, is that Anthony Davis is in number 10, but he's played at minimum like 100 games less than all these guys.
I can see that. Hopefully that shit's over with and he can really contribute to Dallas, man, because he's a force, man. He really is good.
That team is like what they have in Dallas right now, and adding Cooper Flag.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah.
Clay's stoked. I know Clay's loving being in his position.
PJ could be your 6, PJ, or maybe Clay at your 6 man if Clay's not going to start at the 2.
Yeah, bro.
Like, Dallas can be nice. Maybe move some things around, see what else they can get a little younger since they got Coop now. I'm just talking about like as a 4. We got a month till the draft, but Cooper Flag will be a Dallas Maverick. That's just
fucking crazy.
I don't know. Crazier shit has happened. Luka got traded, dog. So
that was all the domino effect right there.
All right, I got a bonus trivia question for you.
What you got?
What is the only city to win the WNBA and NBA titles in the same year?
Los Angeles.
What year?
1999.
No, because neither of those teams won a title in 99.
2000.
No, it was 2001. And
come on, bro. You know I was right there, dog.
Right
there.
That
shit was right there, dog.
You know what the difference between right there and right is?
You didn't want to let me get it, bro. You know I was right there. You
were wrong.
It was crazy.
It's okay. You'll get the next one, maybe. They actually did it in 2001 and 2002. They both went. That was obviously the three-peat for the Lakers, and Sparks went back-to-back in 01 and 02.
How do I switch my camera around, bro?
What camera?
You see how my bully's backwards?
No, I can't even see your face on the other stream. My notes are covering you.
Oh, all right.
Am I backwards too?
Nah, that's why I asked you.
Oh, that's what's up. I didn't do that. It's just set up that way. You got it?
There we go. Wait.
All right, let's get into the WNBA. Season's underway. We're 2 weeks into the season now. There's a lot to talk about already. The champs are undefeated. Almost dropped one on Saturday to the Fever. Their newcomer Natasha Cloud's actually leading the team in scoring, coming over. I think she was in it. Was she with the Fever last year? She was on a different team, and now she's in New York, or Chicago, one of the two. But
a couple squads now.
Yeah, she's averaging 18.7 points and 7.7 assists, leading the team in both.
She's such a beast, bro. I think she was even out of the league like 2 years ago, playing in a different league.
She plays hella defense too.
Yeah.
Nafisa Collier, coming off of the MVP in the Unrivaled League, is currently leading the W in scoring at just under 30 points a game. The Lynx are also the other undefeated team right now. Aces are now at 2-2. They dropped a game today to the Storm.
To the Swarm.
Asia wasn't having a decent season so far. Averages have dropped a little bit, but before tonight's game, she was averaging just under 23 points and 13 rebounds a game. Fourth in the league in scoring. Kelsey Plum, one of my favorite players in the league, off to a decent start with her new squad in LA, averaging just under 25 a game. Had 28 and 8 tonight, hit like 6 threes as the Sparks pulled to 2-3 now on the season. What else we got here? And then obviously Caden Clark. They're sitting at like 2-2 right now. Blew that lead. They had like a 12-point lead against the Liberty in New York. Dropped that lead to the champs on Saturday. Paige Buckers and Enrique and Gubawale, they got to figure it out in Dallas. They're off to kind of a slow start. I think they will though, or they might have to move on from Gubawale. That's a lot of what I've been hearing, which is crazy because she was balling last year. Everybody got buckets from her.
Yeah,
she was eating last year. But one thing I wanted to kind of get into a little more than just that little rundown of the W is Angel Reese. I'm not gonna say I was one of those people that was super critical of her game coming out of college, but
I was.
I always thought it was awkward. We've talked about that a couple. Like it was different, but it seemed effective. You know, they made it far in college. LSU was a very good team. You know, then she gets to the W, and up until that hand injury, there was an argument that could be made for her to win that Rookie of the Year award last year. And then you hear about her working with Lisa Leslie, and that's like a match made in heaven, right? Like, okay, this is what gets her to the next levels working with Lisa. You go to the Unrivaled League, and it looks like it's paying off. It looks like she's been in the lab all summer. She's getting doubles down there, was the Defensive Player of the Year, led Unrivaled in rebounding. And then the WNBA season starts. I mean, she is averaging like almost 15 boards a game. She's shooting 50% from three, but she's only shot 2 threes on the season. And over half of her rebounds are on the offensive end, which are just coming off of her missing layups. She's shooting, 23% from the field right now, under 37% from the free throw line. And the Chicago Sky are struggling. So I say all of this to ask you, because I've seen it everywhere online. Is Angel Reese ass?
Ass. That's why she's holding the L too. Sorry to say that now, but yes, she's ass, bro. She remind me of the girls that we used to watch play in middle school with the turnaround, throw the layup up without even looking at the rim type shit. With the, I don't know, she's big as hell. She's gonna get some rebounds.
Hey, that was going in last year, though.
I know, but it just, my goodness, she got to get with. I'm sorry, bro, but
She
go
was
talk
working
to
with Lisa Leslie. Like, what else? Like,
sure. Go talk to Dikembe. I mean,
wow,
Olajuwon. Get some real footwork.
Akeem could probably help.
Talk to Candace Parker. I learned
Candace.
footwork from Candace Parker, bro.
Cheryl Miller
Like,
could
there
probably
are
be
people that you should be talking to. I'm sorry, Lisa Leslie, but you ain't played in a while. The league has changed. You got to get some crazy footwork.
I'll be talking to Lisa like you crazy. If Lisa was in the league right now, she'd still be bamming on bitches. Like, what?
Probably.
I mean, you ain't played in a while. Lisa was a.
Yeah, I mean.
You mentioned Akeem Olajuwon, but we can't talk about Lisa. But Lisa Leslie can't tell her how to play. He's played more recently than she has.
I feel you.
She was winning championships when he was playing in Toronto. Think about that.
She wasn't known for her footwork, if you ask me.
She was known for being a beast in the paint.
She was known for getting rebounds. Yes, doing all this shit. But if you want to excel in this new women's league, you're going to have to get some serious footwork about yourself and some more hand-eye coordination. You could tell when somebody's not coordinated enough to be on the court. And I'm going to save the rest for my L.
Fair enough. Let's move on to some positive things. This was a segment that you wanted to do this week. We do this a lot. We do our top 3 lists. We rank different things throughout sports, music, entertainment, food, all kinds of things. This week, we will be ranking our top 3 favorite sports photos. Would you like to go first, sir?
Yes. This one comes from current history. It'll have to be from the 2020 Bubble Championship, the NBA Championship in the bubble. And it's none other than Rajon Rondo and his son chilling on the court while his son's tipping back a bottle of champagne.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite pictures.
That's a good
Especially
picture.
after having a child of my own. I think that's just ill as hell.
See, I had a feeling you'd have at least one, if not a few, celebration photos.
Okay.
Not just celebrations in general. So I went strictly during on the field of play in action for my photos. So first one is one I thought that you would have as well, and you still might. Is the backcourt view of Jordan's last shot in Utah, just in that sea of white jerseys in Salt Lake, ripping everybody's heart out. That I just remember I remember where I was when type of thing. So that last Jordan shot with the gooseneck up in the air, ripping the heart out of Utah, that's one of my top 3 favorites.
Yes, I am happy to say that's like one of the actual living memories I have of Jordan playing is the last shot for sure. With you. Except for, the Wizards days and everything like that.
Yeah, we don't have to count them.
An ill-ass picture coming from another Laker was the behind-the-back pass from Kobe to Shaq around the New Jersey net player in the finals. Still frame. He's doing a dope pass.
I already know.
Shaq getting ready to yam it. It's one of my favorites.
It's a good picture. My next one is Ali standing over Sonny Liston.
Damn it.
Was
it the aerial view?
I got a hoodie of that motherfucker right here somewhere.
Was it the aerial view or the punch across the chest?
Punch across the chest.
Straight up.
Classic.
Most iconic for sure.
Make that motherfucker a statue. You know what I'm saying? That's a picture right there. You can't stage that kind of thing. So that's my other one. What's your third one?
I'm gonna have to show it to you.
Ooh.
This is just one of my favorites. But he's also a Laker.
You just left TikTok, by the way, so you know.
It's all right.
It is all right. I can't see it because your face is still covered. Hold on.
This is Braun standing in front of a whole bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
The chosen one.
That's your top 3?
Not top 3, just some of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
If we really going into it, man, I got to talk about the fist in the 1938 Olympics. The one that Hitler was running when the black folks was killing shit. Ali underwater.
Right. Calm down. Stop naming stuff. I still have one to go. Chill out.
Okay. My bad. There's a lot that I could just keep going with. There's a lot of those.
Just calm your tits, bro.
We back on TikTok. My bad, y'all. Back.
Welcome back, bro. My third and final one, you talked about a recent one from 2020. I'm going to go even more recent, 2024. And I'm going to give you one word, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Saquon.
The reverse hurdle.
Come on now. That's a picture that goes for the ages.
Come on now. It's one of the great. It might be a tattoo one day. I don't know.
I got that motherfucker on a t-shirt too. That's etched. I got that one already.
Fly Eagles fly.
I got that on the TikTok shop actually.
Yeah, fire.
Shout out to
the jersey you did that shit in for sure.
Oh, the Kelly Green. Hell yeah.
I need that Saquon for sure.
All right, so there's our first Tire Sports Network top 3. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's food. Could be all kinds of things, man. But thanks for being here for that first one.
We do this shit
next. There's a little segment we do on basically a weekly basis. We're both shoe connoisseurs. We like to see what kicks are out there in the universe, what everybody's rocking. So here is our next segment entitled Heat on Feet.
What's on your feet?
You see any kicks this week catching your eye, see?
Yeah, and I believe their customization makes me sad because I'll definitely rock it. It was a Travis Scott inspired Kevin Durant, I believe 18 that somebody did for KD. Shoes fire in that Travis Scott Brown. The 18's a hard shoe anyway. Shout out to that for sure.
I saw some dope colorways of the 18. That Travis Scott was fire too. You're right.
KD's doing this thing with the 18s, and it looks like his older KDs, his first KDs are going to be re-retroed for the first time.
That's what's up. I think his 18s might be my favorite KDs.
Oh, it's definitely my favorite.
Some of the early ones are okay.
Yeah,
Some of this I saw. Before I get to mine, I saw somebody. Damn, who was it? It was an older former player. I think it was a point guard, but he was talking about how he thinks so many players are having Achilles injuries because nobody's wearing high tops anymore.
I think that was Jay Will, cat that got hurt on the motorcycle.
Nah, was it Jay Will? I don't think so. I don't think I'd have listened as closely if it was Jay Will.
I know it was a point guard for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was. I don't think it was Jay Will though.
Hardaway,
Somebody like that, I think.
GP, somebody. I saw the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, my favorite shoe I saw this week, the Kobe 6 Statue of Liberty PEs that fucking Brunson was wearing in game 2. Just the other day. They kind of, what's fucked up now is like when he does it, it makes me think of the New York Liberty right away. But it's Statue of Liberty colorway.
It's fire.
And they're Kobe 6s. So
Kobe 6s. Respect.
So those were super hot fire, I would say.
Respect for sure.
I thought about those all week. I didn't even really see any other shoes this week that caught my eye like that.
The cheeseburger Jordan ones you sent me are actually a real shoe. I did see them on the shelf somewhere recently. Crazy.
Cheeseburger ones go hard.
Cheeseburger ones go hard for sure. What else came out? Shout out to Jalen Williams and Lou Dort for all the James Hardens. They're rocking right now.
You see the Pinky and the Brain colorway?
Yeah. That's some shit, man.
And that is it for Heat on Feet. Catch that again next week, I'm sure.
Appreciate it, digga.
All right, up next, just a little bit of entertainment, some new music I noticed throughout the week. I don't know if you heard any of it, but first off, the newly reformed anti-Semite Ye will be releasing Bully on June 15th. You excited about that?
Who's doing that?
Kanye.
I am excited about it.
He's not anti-Semitic anymore. You didn't see that? He put out a bunch of tweets saying he loves everybody again. He's no longer anti-Semitic. It's over.
I did see that, and I believe him.
I heard he's suing his doctor for nitrous use. I guess it was like his dealer. He had a real bad nitrous addiction, and that may have tied into it.
I mean, that shit to make you lose some brain cells for sure.
Real shit, dog.
I shouldn't do that to you. But he said he had a conversation with his kids, and that's all he really needed. I don't know what he was really dealing with, but
he done that shit 3 years ago.
Yeah, talk to a family member, bro.
That's all you gotta do. And a follow-up to the good year last year we had an old head hip hop. Snoop released a surprise album called Is It a Crime or Is It Crime? Is It a Crime?
I didn't see that.
That features a Suge Knight diss. And I think this album, I listened to a good chunk of this one. I think I like this one more than the one he just released with Dre not too long ago. I think this is even more than the other one was.
Oh yeah,
you got a joint on there with La Russell is pretty dope. Yeah, it's a pretty solid. I think I like this one better than the other album.
Okay. Let's see what Big Snoop Dogg talking about. Uncle Snoop Dogg.
Also sticking with the West Coast, X to the Z Exhibit dropped a new project called Kingmaker. I don't know if I agree with the title of his album, but I heard the track with Redman and Be Real called Higher. That track's fire as hell. So there should be some other dope joints on there. I'd imagine it could get some dope Exhibit. I remember when
Shout out to the old heads, man. Now we just we need Wayne to pop out with some mixtape shit.
They're the ones that keep me feeling young. It was all these old niggas still doing hip hop and still rapping and shit.
Yeah,
I did see Warren G bumping some Lil Wayne that he says is confirmed for the Carter 6, and it seemed like a fire ass verse. That's coming soon.
I need that.
Oh, that's like next week or the week after. Yeah, that's coming. Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
The 6th, right?
For you, Wayne.
Oh no, we got a couple weeks still, but I just don't let me down, Weezy.
Room for you, Wayne.
Are y'all live? Yeah, we're live. I can't answer that question. All right, we're getting to the time in the year where basketball's winding down. We still got the WNBA, and we'll have some other things happening throughout the year. And neither one of us are really big baseball fans, so watching 3 hours of that sounds terrible. So this is the time of year we have to find new things to watch. You got anything new you watching going into the summertime?
I am. I'm watching what's that shit called? Mob Ties. Mob Mobland. It's a new one with what's his name? Tom Hardy. It's a good one.
Yeah, I did see a piece of that. Word.
Yeah, Mobland's going pretty crazy. Just the first season of that. And The Last of Us. I'm watching that right now.
Yeah, it's even started season 2 yet.
I'm kind of pissed off right now at it, but save that for later.
Yeah, please do, because I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Yeah. What you watching?
Right now, I'm watching Hollywood Demons. It's a show that it deep dives into old school scandals from different TV shows and different things that happened throughout the course of time. So there was a Power Rangers episode, then all the stuff that happened with them. There's a Real Housewives episode. There was one with a bunch of child stars.
What the fuck happened to the Power Rangers, dog?
Oh, it was just the Red Ranger curse and Tommy's brother committing suicide and Tommy dying and
Yellow Ranger dying.
When they start cycling through all the different Rangers, why they start cycling through all the different Rangers, why that kept happening. I learned about that. It's actually pretty fucking cool. You should check it out. It's on I think it's on Max. It's on Max or Peacock. I don't know. But it's been pretty cool so far. That's been mostly it.
Hollywood what?
Demons.
Okay. Oh yeah, man.
All right, we are to the point in the show where, not everything can be a win. So we got to hand out some L's.
That's a fact.
Who you giving that L to?
Reese.
You're not on TikTok anymore. Oh, yeah. I forgot you're giving it to her.
Angel Reese is getting the L, man. Just because I watched a whole group of friends bet on her missing her first shot in multiple games.
3 in a row.
and they keep winning.
I saw that.
That's tough, Angel. Hope we get it together.
They celebrate like they won a motherfucking championship.
They probably put some money up. Shit.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Originally, my L, I guess I just didn't give it to Paul George because I didn't feel like talking about him, but and Gilly went at him enough. Did you see that on Paul George's podcast?
No.
Gilly was talking about how they just need more out of him. You missing half the games, you missing as many games as you play. This is why Allen Iverson is a GOAT. This is why Brian Dawkins is a GOAT. We don't even know if our fucking best player. He starts talking about Embiid too. If he's gonna show up for half the games, we just need more. They're always GOATs because they work hard. They leave it on the floor. We need that from you. We're about to just say fuck it. He just gave it to Paul George on his own damn show. So it's gonna be Paul George. But then, as I was thinking and, we're talking in these group chats and I talked to you, I decided to give my L to 20-point leads because they don't matter. With the relevance of the 3-point shooting, a 20-point lead is basically a 5-point lead.
Right. 20-point leads don't matter, but 30-point leads, let's just get ready for the next.
Let's just give up. We give up right there. We got to quit.
Right.
All right. And before we hand out Bully of the Week, it's time for one of the most delicious segments in podcasts, Talking Snack.
Look at the background going crazy, my boy.
Yeah, I had a lot of time.
Yeah.
Look, I know I've talked a lot about Oreos lately, but I just can't shake this Oreo ID thing. So, just in the last week, I myself have had the Toffee Crunch Oreos, fire. I've also had the chocolate covered pretzel Oreos, also fire. Selena Gomez is also getting a new Oreo. That's supposed to be an horchata inspired joint. Sounds delicious. So with all these things happening in Oreo, I'm gonna check back in Oreo ID. And guess how many more options they've added?
I'm gonna go out and say 1.
Not a single one. It's still just regular cream or birthday cake, regular ass cookie, fudge, fuck ass sprinkles. Like,
Are they abandoning this like an NFT or something?
this thing is like consuming me now because now it's in my algorithms. I get the ads for it. I saw one from Oreo today and I was happy because there was only 8 comments, and the 8 comments were like, "Oh, that's expensive. Why don't you talk about all the garbage that's in these cookies?" Blah blah blah. They were all little short things. Mine kind of just flew off the handle because I'm like I've said on here, you get better selections at Walmart. You shouldn't be able to get the same cookie with better options for $4 than you can get for 40.
Amen.
Make that make sense to me. Also,
Amen.
12 cookies. You get 12 cookies in the whole fucking Oreo ID thing for $40.
You ain't gonna give us the whole pack. You ain't gonna give us the 4 rows.
Selena Gomez, they got the brand new flavor cookies. There's cinnamon inside the chocolate cookie for the Selena Gomez ones now. And it's just not that I mind having a regular Oreo cookie, but if we're gonna do this Oreo ID thing, let's do it
the right way.
Let's do it for real. There's not a single
Nike ID don't just put Air Forces and Air Maxes on they shit.
Right, and they don't give you 2 color options. You do black or white. That's not a Nike ID. That you just went and got some shoes.
That's not an ID. That's your way.
That's just some shoes, dog. Like that's just it's ridiculous to me. So I'm still on this Oreo thing. I'll try to let it go, but Oreo ID is still failing. I hate it. You got any snack thing you want to talk about this week?
I do. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm super excited to try the brown sugar Pop-Tart ice cream sandwich. I've been seeing it everywhere. Sounds delicious. I ain't been in a Walmart for a minute, but I'm a cop. I'm a definitely cop, and y'all gonna hear about it.
It might be my favorite Pop-Tart too.
Oh, it's definitely the best Pop-Tart. Come on now. No disrespect to y'all chocolates or s'mores or your strawberry joints.
Straight up strawberry for sure. Yeah, exactly.
But the brown sugar cinnamon is so nostalgic. I used to watch Little Bill or 9/11 crashing, eating one of those in the morning, right before hitting the bus.
That's just crazy.
And Little Bill was a classic. Don't look at the camera that way.
I was just looking at it because you was throwing it back so far, dog. Like,
man, that's how far back me and the brown sugar Pop-Tart go, bro. We go back, bro.
I feel
frozen, microwaved, toasted, regular.
Oh yeah, it didn't matter.
Almond milk, Viva milk, oat milk.
Pop-Tarts in the toaster.
Brown sugar cinnamon. Thank you.
Agreed. Well, now that we've gotten the important stuff out of the way, it's time for our how we recognize game here on Recognize Game every week, and that is by celebrating the Bully of the Week.
Bully of the Week. Oh,
who we got this week?
Fuck it is. I'm going with King Charles, the fucking the dog. King Charles the dog. The dog that lives with a whole bunch of other dogs, and all the dogs be barking and yelling and fighting each other. But when King Charles pulls up, the spaniel, everybody bow down, bro. Big dog, little dog, light dog, brown dog. It doesn't matter when King Charles puts his paw on you or even just looks at you a certain way, you will bow down. And that's the most bully shit I've seen this week. King Charles the Spaniel, Bully of the Week.
I dig it. I went the selfish route this week. My Bully of the Week is In My Bag Apparel, clothing brand that I am the owner and creator of. And we come up with this cool shit all around me. We are releasing this week from our Mamba Combat series. We've already done our LeBron James style characters as well as our Steph Curry. But this week we get the Luka Doncic, aka Mlada Koza, which is this young goat in Slovenian, as well as our Caitlin Clark character, otherwise known as Fever Hawk. Both of those will be available on the website as well as on Whatnot. If you're local to the Des Moines area, there's some other ways you can find me, but I'm not going to put all my business out there like that. Just keep an eye out for both of those.
Hell yeah.
Also, another bully, we'll give it out to the Tired Sports Network, man, getting us in. It's been a week all this week. We done got onto a new show, got a new format set up, a new platform. We got the show is now on Facebook as well. One thing that we'll talk about soon is the fact that I don't think I streamed to all the platforms we were supposed to, so we're only live on YouTube and TikTok right now. But that's not a big deal. It's fine. We'll fix that for next week.
Not tripping.
Also, shout out to the Sports Avengers, man. My man Prescott Kelly invited us over there. We got a couple of different homes now where we get to talk sports with a bunch of cool guys, cool people. Shout out to Mac Truck as well, who's always giving us a platform and shouted us out as well. As, we did you see those clips I put out last week? That was old episodes from Mac's show. But we were just talking about the barbershops, so we figured we'd send those out for y'all and shit. Man, that's all I got for this week, man. What about you?
That's it, man. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep progressing. And shit, this bully of the week shit might have to be a shirt one day, man.
I thought about that after I made that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. I went through so many different looking Minotaurs to come up with that one.
But hell yeah. But please like, share, and comment who your bully of the week is, too. We would love that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Comment right under this because I'm gonna clip this. So put it right under the clip. Tell us your bully of the week. Tell us if you've messed around with Oreo ID or who you got in the finals or what's your favorite WNBA team. Just talk to us. Engage. Yep. You can find us everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Just engage, man. Want to say thank you to everybody that has been involved in keeping us going, getting us back on track. Shout out Raw Figgy for the intro music. Yeah, man, that's all I got.
Back in this bitch like we never left.
Until next week, man. Recognize gang.
Doses.